Tonight, 9 investigates public money promised to a private business. $375,000 to help get the sale of the Rockingham Speedway over the finish line. Richmond County commissioners did approve the money, but Channel 9 learned that promises were made and the contract was already signed even before they were able to vote on it. Despite all of that, the planned deal never happened. In fact, a NASCAR competitor actually bought the track just weeks ago. Channel 9's Gina Esposito spent 5 months investigating.
The emails I obtained paint a picture of a high-pressure, high-stakes pitch. Get the money or lose NASCAR again. The whole thing had one commissioner asking, "Are you sure this is legal?" It's a question the SBI is asking too. NASCAR's return to Richmond County drew 40,000 fans last April. But even with those successful races at the Rock, the track's owner was in a hard place financially. He looked to County Manager Brian Land for help.
Without the lifeline to assist with the payment of safer barriers, we would not be able to host the April 2026 race, and the potential sale between Rockingham Properties and Track Enterprises would not proceed.
That potential sale did not proceed, and the lifeline that was mentioned, $375,000 to pay debts owed to the builder of these white safety barriers around the track, which protect drivers in crashes. We obtained an email chain from last summer between track owner Dan Levenheim and prospective buyer Bob Sargent. Now, Sargent wanted to settle the debts immediately. Levenheim said he needed more money. Now, both Sargent and Levenheim began including Land in their emails, looking for help in the deal. On Friday, August 15th, Sargent wrote, "This is very important to get resolved today. NASCAR has held off on the schedule for us and will not be able to do so any longer." Later that day, with Land now in the chain, "I'm not going to be able to go back and forth any longer." 1 hour later, Land responded, "We will pay Smith Fence for the safer barrier invoice."
And my thoughts are, it's a private entity. If I can buy a racetrack for $6 million, I can afford $300,000.
That's Dobbin Heights Mayor Antonio Blue, who calls this business bailout business as usual.
And Richmond County has done business for so many years under the good old boy system. Make them whole.
Dobbin Heights Mayor Pro Tem Tyree Holloway has concerns too.
It's all about accountability.
They're frustrated about that bailout and about what happened next. It wasn't until after lunchtime Saturday, Land sent the agreement to then County Commission Chair Rick Watkins. Watkins signed this contract we obtained promising the $375,000. And it wasn't until a day after that, on Sunday, that Watkins told the full board, "I've authorized the $375,000 commitment." That email drew a wave of criticism from other commissioners. Have any board members spoken to NASCAR? This appears to be an attempt to cover Dan Levenheim's outstanding obligations with taxpayer dollars. Moving forward without documentation, transparency, or proper process is reckless. Followed by, "Are you sure this is legal?" And "I would feel better moving forward with everyone's questions answered and have a vote." So that following Thursday, 5 days after Watkins agreed to pay the funds, commissioners held a special meeting approving grant money for the Speedway. Hamlet Mayor Pro Tem Abby Covington.
But it was a done deal when they walked in the room. And so somebody orchestrated it. And I can't prove who did or who didn't, but when they walked in the room to vote, it was a done deal. And until people that do this type of thing are held accountable, it'll never change.
There's no public recording of the meeting, but we obtained audio of it. In it, Commissioner Justin Dawkins said he voted against the money because of how the deal was going down.
My vote in no way reflects my opinion of those 3 individual parties. My vote reflects on how our county government is being led.
Ultimately, the barrier builder got its money, and NASCAR put the Rock on the schedule, but Commissioner Chair Rick Watkins paid another price. Do you still kind of stand by what you did and how that all played out? I caught up with Watkins at a development event in October. He said he did what he did to ensure NASCAR would return.
I think when all the facts are on the table that everybody would see that it was the right decision at the right time.
The election for board chair will occur first.
2 months later, in December, Watkins wasn't reappointed as chair. Commissioner Jamie Gathings told me he voted to replace Watkins due in part to his actions in August. At that same event, I also tried to speak with County Manager Brian Land.
I sent you an email a couple weeks ago.
But he walked away from me.
Would you answer any of those questions for me?
The county manager has some personal interests involved in all this stuff. And you know, he owns property across the street. And so naturally, he will want the race to come because he benefits from it personally.
Records show Brian Land's family owns this property around the track, property where Covington said Land sold parking spots during last year's race weekend.
But the appearances are that he has a vested interest in maintaining the operation at the Speedway.
It should be public knowledge, and the taxpayers should know about it.
As we mentioned earlier, that prospective buyer ended up not getting the track. Rockingham Speedway was just sold to a NASCAR competitor. Although the race scheduled for April is still on, the SBI says its financial crimes unit is still investigating the contract and has yet to present its findings to the district attorney. In the newsroom, Gina Esposito, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Now, we also learned that the bill for that safer barrier was not for $375,000, and that this was not the first time the county had given money to the track's owner to pay off a bill. We have those details inside Gina's report. It's on our website.